One of the big reasons I do these videos, especially videos like this, is because truth is treason in the empire of lies. And truth is the new hate speech. There are a lot of people who buy into the most insane, easily provable evils in this world, and socialism is one of them. And I don't care what brand of socialism you're talking about. Socialism heavy or socialism light. Democratic socialism, it doesn't matter. Socialism is evil because it's predicated on the immoral stand of theft. More specifically, extortion. And then when I look under videos like this one's entitled Bernie Sanders on Jewish Heritage. It impacts me profoundly. You got comments like this. All the other candidates are just pretending to be Bernie. I like how Bernie talks about stuff others don't. This man speaks entirely from his heart. Instinctually honest, I would say. Let's get him another stint. This man is on fire. I love this guy and how he expresses himself. This man is truly admirable. He's compassionate and conscious, and his heritage gives him a deep understanding of human frailty. There's a lot of people who are caught in the dragnet of socialism, the ideology that believes that it's okay to steal from one group of people and give it to another group of people under government redistribution. So let's just go over the first 4 minutes and 35 seconds of this CNN town hall meeting with Bernie Sanders.
And welcome back. We are live with Senator Bernie Sanders from St. Anselm College here in New Hampshire. Let's go back to our audience. I want to bring in Lauren Selig. She's a realtor from Durham. She previously supported Senator Cory Booker. She's now leaning towards supporting Senator Warren. Lauren? Hey, Lauren.
Hi, hello. Thank you for being here. How do you think your Jewish heritage impacts your vision of the world and politics? And do you think it is a help or a hindrance to your role as a candidate?
What if her question was, how do you think your white heritage helps you as a candidate? People would go ballistic, but somehow it's okay to use race when it's the other way around.
It impacts me very profoundly. You know, when I try to think about how I came to the views that I hold, there are two major factors, I think. Although one never knows, but I think there are two factors. Number one, I grew up in a family, didn't have a whole lot of money. And we struggled economically, and that made me aware that there are tens of millions of people who are in that same boat. And the second one is being Jewish.
What if he said, and the second one was being a white, heterosexual male?
And I remember as a kid looking at these big picture books of World War II, and tears would roll down my cheeks when I saw what happened to the Jewish people. 6 million people were killed by Hitler.
So here's a propagation of the official story. And while I'm not going to question it here because you know what happens to channels who do, we need to be really clear that the government's official story, that history's official story stands as far as Bernie's concerned, and it's okay, it's A-okay for CNN to continue propagating that story.
And, I think at a very early age, even before my political thoughts were developed, I was aware of the horrible things that human beings can do to other people in the name of racism or white nationalism, or in this case, Nazism.
Or politics. Imagine the evils that have been foisted on other human beings by evil human beings in the name of politics, Bernie. Oh, I don't know, things like giving people universal health care. If you're going to give people universal health care, you have to grab other people by the collar and make them pay for it. And how do you make somebody like that pay for it? You stick a huge government gun in their face like Bernie Sanders wants to do. He wants Medicare for all. How's he going to do it? Through government-sanctioned and sponsored gun violence. That's what Medicare for All is. It's government gun violence against a certain part of the population so that they can provide for another part of the population, which does nothing but make the oligarchs at the top rich.
And in the community that I lived in, there were people, you go downtown in your shop, people had their tattoos from the concentration camps on their arm. A few years ago, my wife and I and my brother and his wife went back to the town in Poland, where my father was born. And we were shown, people that were very, very nice, and we were shown an area where the Nazis had put in some 300 people and just mowed them down.
What the hell does any of this have to do with Bernie wanting to be the ruler or leader of the free world, telling you what you can or can't do and sticking a huge government gun in your face and making you do something against your will and without your consent?
In a ditch. So that had a, how horrible people can be to other people in the names of racial superiority or etc. Certainly has been with me for my entire life. And that is why I will.
They just made this thing into race when it didn't have to be made into race. This is CNN, the Communist News Network. You can't trust anything that they say. And they're voicing this propaganda campaign through the mouthpiece called Bernie Sanders. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, mainstream media is for the most part against Bernie Sanders. Look, guys, mainstream media propagates statism any way they can get it.
I'll do everything I can to end the kind of divisiveness that Trump is fomenting in this country.
Governments don't end divisiveness. Governments foment and begin and exacerbate divisiveness.
We are one people, and I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're Latino, Native American, Asian American, you're gay, you're straight. That's not what it's about. What it's about is that we...
Actually, that is what it's about. These people are so against people being anti-Semitic. If you criticize Israel in the minds of somebody like Bernie Sanders or a Donald Trump, you've committed the crime of anti-Semitism.
We are human beings, and we share common dreams and aspirations. So, the pain that my family, my father's family suffered in Poland is something that has impacted my life, absolutely.
And I'm going to inflict it on you when I become president.
President Trump actually spoke about faith today at a national prayer breakfast this morning. He said he, quote, doesn't like people who use their faith as justification for doing what they know is wrong, that he also doesn't, quote, like people who say, I pray for you, when they know that's not so. I'm wondering when you heard that, what went through your mind?
Sounds to me, if you just take him for what he said, it's logical, it's reasonable, and it's in accordance with truth. Nobody likes a hypocrite. Nobody likes to see somebody else use their religion to get one over on somebody else.
I'm tired of commenting on Trump's remarks. I really am. I think he lies all the time.
Oh, and Bernie Sanders doesn't lie all the
very
time,
hard for
guys. Bernie Sanders doesn't, not we, us. Yeah, it is you, bud. He's always coming out against the one percenters. He became a one percenter, and then he backed off of talking so much about one percenters. The only reason Bernie Sanders is who he is today is because of capitalism, but he wants to get rid of capitalism and go full throttle socialism.
To understand where he is coming from. He is a bully. He says terrible things. I suppose that he is attacking Mitt Romney.
All government agents who derive their living from taxation or extortion or theft are bullies, including Bernie Sanders. The base salary for a congressman in the United States is $174,000. That money is stolen from the American people and put into the pockets of puppet politicians who work night and day to create more laws that make us less free and take more of our wealth.
Is that the gist of this thing?
Right, and Pelosi.
And Pelosi. So, I know Nancy Pelosi pretty well. She is, a strong Catholic.
And an evil person who's a gun grabber, just like Bernie Sanders is, just like Joe Biden is, just like Mitt Romney is.
I don't know Mitt Romney terribly well. I know him, but he is a man of faith. He's a Mormon. And to attack people because they stand up to him is what this person's mind is about. He thinks he is above the law. He thinks he's God's gift to the human race, and anybody who disagrees with him is some terrible human being, and he will deal with those people in sometimes the most savage ways, destroy people's lives. So, that's all. I think Mitt Romney showed a great deal of courage, and I wish that there were other Republicans who had the same sense of decency that he did. And I think back to somebody who I knew fairly well, John McCain. Of course, you knew John. A decent person. Again, somebody I disagree.
John McCain, one of the biggest warmongers you could ever find in the halls of Washington's District of Criminals, was a decent person. Guys, give me a break.
Agree with all over the place. And to see Trump...
Decent person and warmonger are mutually exclusive and diametrically opposed.
Attack McCain when he was alive and even when he was dead.
Because when he was still alive, John McCain was writing laws that attacked and killed thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Because McCain stood up to him is not what any decent human being would do, let alone a president of the United States.
So what CNN and Bernie Sanders are trying to get you to believe is that you can actually be a decent human being who just so happens to be a psychopathic, parasitic, bloodthirsty warmonger. Guys, we need to call this crap out every chance we get. Truth is truly treason in the empire of lies. If you guys enjoy these videos, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, share them with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. And if you did enjoy this video, maybe you enjoyed some of these other videos. If you want to support the channel, grab one of these hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirts from the shirt store. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.